We can't see Bob on the camera.
No, he must not have his camera on. Yep. You guys will be
Okay.
live on SAPA.
There-
Can you take the screen off, Asa? Share screen? Yep. Okay, yep, you're ready to go, Marita, even though you
And
don't see yourself.
I'm ready to go?
Yep.
Okay, this is the SAPA TV annual meeting, and this is an unusual year that we're having this annual meeting because of the coronavirus pandemic. Jared and Asa and I are in the brick auditorium at the Park Street School, and I'm going to take off my mask because we are social distanced, so we're far enough away that we're safe without wearing the mask. So I'm calling the meeting to order, and this is, as I said, an unusual experience for us all. We appreciate that you've joined us by Zoom. Hello to all of you, and we're going out live to the community as well. The first item on our agenda is to approve the minutes of the last year's annual meeting. You had that in the board packet, and I'm sure that you've all looked at it. So just take a glance at it. It told us what we did a year ago. And can we have a motion to approve the minutes from last year, please? And would you,
I think Mark Blanchard made the motion.
okay, Mark
Yeah.
Blanchard moved, and who was it that would second it?
I'll second.
And
That was
who is
Bob.
that?
That was Bob.
Is that, okay, Bob Topolsky, seconded. We're going to say the names so that next year's minutes can be written from this recording of the annual meeting. Okay, so we've had a chance to look at the minutes, and all those in favor of approving last year's minutes, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the minutes are approved from last year. All right, we'll move on to the President's Report. My name is Marita Johnson, and I am the President of the SAPA TV Board of Directors. At our last year's annual meeting, we had a wonderful celebration of our 20 years history of SAPA TV with the premiere showing of the documentary, Thank You Citizens for Watching. Our staff did an excellent job of highlighting our accomplishments. During our 2019-2020 year, we continued to serve the needs of our communities. Our staff worked with students producing programs through the River Valley Tech Center, Riverside Middle School, and the Greenhorn Live Journalism class at Springfield High School. Our staff supported volunteers who borrowed SAPA equipment to cover local events, especially during the holiday season last November and December. Our very popular bulletin board is maintained by our staff for the community to be informed of local events. Our video-on-demand server equipment was upgraded and continues to provide the opportunity to watch our programming at the convenience of the viewer. The staff's outreach at local events, such as the Apple Fest, kept SAPA TV out in front, bringing in new viewers. SAPA TV continues to serve in its very important role of providing coverage of our three towns' public meetings through broadcasting the Select Board and School Board meetings of Chester, Wethersfield, and Springfield. These continue to be our most watched programs. In early March, all three town meetings were broadcast live. Through capital funding provided by Comcast, we have been able to place camera equipment on site at these meeting locations, which facilitates easier and more efficient recording and broadcasting of the meetings. Our staff is able to monitor and broadcast these meetings from home by connecting through their computers. Because of our technical equipment in place and the expertise of our staff, when the coronavirus pandemic changed the normal world for all of us in mid-March, SAPA TV was well placed to meet the challenges. Our staff was able to work remotely from home and keep SAPA TV on air, continuing our programming to inform the public as well as to provide educational and entertaining programming. The important town board meetings could continue to be covered through Zoom conferencing and our SAPA TV equipment. Other producer shows and music performances could also be shared through Zoom. Since the access to our studio located in Springfield High School was closed, our director, Jared Gunnell, reached out to BRIC, Black River Innovation Campus, for temporary studio space at the Park Street School location, where we are broadcasting from this evening. BRIC has graciously allowed us to utilize this space. We hope to continue this collaboration as we adapt to the restrictions with this pandemic. The SAPA TV Board of Directors wishes to thank our staff for their dedicated efforts during this past year. Thank you to Jared Gunnell, Executive Director, Asa Kramer, Production Manager, and Kevin Paquette, Programming Manager. A thank you for serving on the Board of Directors go to Mark Richardson, Mark Blanchard, Rebecca Tucker, Bryce Honeywell, and Bob Topolsky. This past year, we bestowed the honor of SAPA Board Emeritus to Steve Sisko. Thank you to the volunteers and producers of our shows. We hope we will be able to provide more opportunities for access by the public to our temporary studio and more access again to cameras and editing computers for the production of entertaining and informative programs. Hello, Bryce Honeywell is just joining us. So Bryce, we are partly through the President's report, so welcome to our meeting. I just have thanked the board members, and so you were one of those people that I thanked. Thank you. There, we can see your picture now. Hopefully, and so we hope to be able to provide more opportunities for access by the public to our temporary studio and more access again to cameras and editing computers. And I know Bryce is really concerned about that. He wants to continue editing programs and for the production of entertaining and informative programs. Hopefully, as we all overcome the challenges of this health pandemic and organizations begin offering programs again, we certainly will look forward to our volunteers covering them and once again provide access to the wonderful information and spirit alive in our local communities. So that is my President's report, and this annual meeting does run, for the past year, it runs from July 2019 through June of 2020. Those are the programs and the financial things that we are discussing tonight and making a report on. Okay, next on the agenda is our financial report. And Mark Blanchard is our treasurer, and he will present the financial report.
Mark? Asa, can you put that financial report up on the screen while he speaks? Oh, it's coming.
It's coming. There it is. There you go, Mark.
Yeah, you can, on each computer, you can manually move it or minimize it. Yep.
we've got that effort underway, and it seems like people are up for trying this out. Jared has made it obvious that other stations are, excited to look at this and feel it's a viable opportunity to gain a little more income for us. And I think we are on the cutting edge of doing this for public access television.
Yeah, and one thing I would also point out in this financial record that isn't showing up is we actually didn't receive our last quarterly payment from VTEL in time. We've actually received it into the next fiscal year, but the way our books work, we're a cash on hand, so that will be reported in the next year. So we actually would have actually had even more money in a sense, but I just wanted to point that out, that there was a delay in our last quarterly payment, but that payment has come in and we are back on track now. So, but yeah, so that's just something I wanted to point out, but we are doing well, especially in these trying times, so I feel really lucky that we are where we're at.
Good.
Becky had mentioned that she couldn't hear Mark Blanchard, and somebody, Becky, if you can hear me, I see your microphone has a mute thing through it, as well as Bryce's.
But that's just the,
Trouble hearing, and I think
yeah.
radio over Bryce.
But that's just his microphone. Yeah, I was gonna say it might be the volume.
I don't see Becky Tucker on there anymore.
Yeah, well, it might have. There's more people now.
Oh, because,
so
and I see that Larry Kraft has joined us. Hi, Larry. Larry, can you hear us?
Okay.
Okay, so we've started our meeting and we're down through the financial report.
Yep.
So, okay, and there's Becky back again. Okay, so we're on the agenda. We're down to the director's report. So Jared will give his report for the fiscal year of, like I said, 2019 through 2020.
Yep. Thank you. I'm gonna go ahead and take my mask off, so I'm not muffled. It has been a busy and challenging year for SAPA TV. Early in the fiscal year, we faced FCC rule changes that could affect our funding, and by the end of the year, we were facing the global pandemic of COVID-19. Even with these challenges, the SAPA TV staff, board, and volunteers have persevered, and SAPA TV continues to be a beacon in the community. An update on the FCC did make some rule changes that could actually affect our funding. That happened in the summer of 2019, but the biggest concern that we had that was for chargebacks on bandwidth was left out of the ruling, which was a positive thing for community television. That was the thing we were most worried about. So at the time, at this time, these rulings have not had much impact on the cable revenue funding, but the public access television community continues to watch closely as the FCC could continue to create rules that would benefit cable providers and be detrimental to community television. So we'll keep an eye on that. Also during this fiscal year, the Comcast Certificate of Public Good was renewed. Terms were finally met between Comcast, the state of Vermont, and the Vermont Access Network, who's kind of an association of the local community stations in Vermont. A few of these terms were not beneficial to community access television. As part of our agreement, Comcast was allowed to move all Vermont Access TV stations from lower tier to higher tier channels. This move happened in February, but Comcast did provide some funding to help with marketing and rebranding, and we used some of this funding to run advertisements for several weeks in local print and online papers, trying to keep the people informed of the channel changes. And so for those who may not know of these changes, the new channels are our SAPA TV 1077 for our public channel, and channel 1087 for the SAPA Government Education channel. And we'll probably still continue to create some like postcard type things for like when we go out to the community, just to inform people that these channel changes have happened, because I have had a few phone calls saying, where did you go? Why aren't you on TV anymore? You know, even with all the informing that we do, it's hard to reach every home. So And it's kind of sad that they took this away, and it is affecting the stations throughout the state. So, but we're doing all we can to keep people informed that we are still on the cable, but we're just at a different location. Also, as part of the agreement, Comcast no longer has to maintain live drops in the town halls, schools, and other locations. But Comcast also provided funding for the Vermont stations that could be used to create alternative options for these live drops, which we've talked about. And honestly, we hadn't really been using the actual Comcast live drops in the last 5 years. So, but now we've turned to this online, which we're doing now, and we'll use that technology in the future. In the 2019-2020 fiscal year, SAPA TV did see a steady use of their equipment, editing computers, and studio space. We checked out camera equipment 175 times this year. Community members reserved the studio 91 times, and our edit computers were reserved 77 times this year. We are truly grateful to all the volunteers, producers, employees who worked so hard on providing community programming. Their time and efforts created over 374 shows. These shows provided more than 450 hours of programming in the 2019-2020 production year. And I think that's pretty amazing. The amount of edit times our edit bays were used is phenomenal, especially in a year where we lost the last 3 or 4 months to the COVID-19 pandemic, and people couldn't check out the equipment, couldn't use the studio. So we were on track to probably break records that we'd never done before. And unfortunately, COVID kind of put a stop to that. And that's the barrier of all barriers for SAPA TV staff this year, was COVID-19. Ourselves, municipalities, and schools had to start thinking outside the box immediately. Once the shelter in place started across the studio space and equipment was halted. Gems of community programming like Greenhorn Live and Puggy's Corner were not able to be made. For the first time in 20 years, events like the Apple Blossom Cotillion that SAPA taped for years were canceled. 2-hour graduation ceremonies turned into 2-day events that SAPA recorded and live streamed. The list of challenges we faced is just too long to list. They could go on and on. Adapting to this new reality happened immediately. SAPA started providing services to host Zoom meetings for towns and schools, though most took on this burden themselves, and they provided SAPA the ability to record these meetings. Some boards even continued to meet in person, which expedited SAPA TV to install live drop equipment that made it possible to record and stream these meetings remotely. We installed the systems in the Weathersfield and Chester town halls. These systems allow us to record, stream, and provide virtual attendance of the meetings through Zoom and other software. And this is where some of that Comcast funding was used, was to make that possible. And actually, the third installment of equipment for town halls is actually in here right now, because the Springfield Town Hall felt their space was too small to socially distance. And here in the future, hopefully they're going to actually use this space for their live meetings. So that equipment has been purchased. It is working. We're still working out a few kinks, but it's amazing what we're able to do remotely now. We're able to actually switch, control cameras, and all that stuff remotely. So, and then knowing that access to the SAPA TV studio was not going to happen for the foreseeable future, SAPA TV did seek out alternative temporary studio space, as Marita mentioned. And the team at Black River Innovation Campus, they welcomed us with open arms. Trevor and Chris just both saw that our mission was their mission, and they've allowed us to be here temporarily. And hopefully, this collaboration goes on to the point that we are, there's future collaboration and maybe future location, even somewhere else within this building. Knowing that there'll be challenges at our old location for the unforeseeable future. So, it's just I'm grateful that they've been so willing to work with us. And with the space, we have been able to tape some of our regular studio shows, such as Bound for the Promised Land and Doing Life. We also continue to provide Zoom as an option for people to create content during this pandemic. We actually got our first Puggy show in months thanks to Zoom, which was great. It was great to see Puggy again. And it is our goal to do all we can to keep our staff and volunteers safe, and we feel we are able to do that with this space. Though it is only a temporary solution, we do look forward to future discussions with Brick on possible relocation. And I want to give a big shout out to my amazing staff. Thanks to their efforts, we were able to move to remote systems seamlessly and continue to do the daily tasks to keep the station running in a safe manner. Though we're not able to offer all our services and our typical daily schedule may have changed, this situation has made it possible for us to think outside the box and find solutions to continue to provide many of the services SAPA TV offers. So thank you, Asa and Kevin, and all the hardworking volunteers, including our meeting videographers, Logan Peralt and Weston Marshall, who've unfortunately not been able to cover meetings since the start of this pandemic, and I don't know when they'll be able to go back to one, but with our new technology, they may never have to go back to a meeting again. But yeah, I want to thank our videographers and staff. And it is with a heavy heart to announce that this will be the last time. Dang it, I get emotional. I attend a SAPA TV annual meeting as the executive director of SAPA TV. As most of the board knows, and for community members out there watching, I am officially stepping down as executive director to pursue one of the most challenging endeavors of my life, raising my two wonderful children. So, the SAPA TV board has already started the search for a new executive director. I know the incoming director will face many challenges as SAPA continues to navigate COVID-19, funding changes, and possible relocation. But I know the SAPA board will be able to find someone who will be able to face these challenges head on. It has been an honor to be part of the SAPA TV community for the last 12 years. There you go. Sorry, guys. I'm an emotional guy. I always have been. It is hard to say goodbye to something that has been such a big part of my life. I am grateful for the experiences I've gained, and I look forward to being able to continue to give back to the community television in one way or another after my departure. So, and before I move on to goals and the other parts of my reports, if there's any questions, I know most of the people online are board members, but if there's any questions with what I've reported, I'd be glad to answer.
Well, since you have just announced that you're leaving, I was going to save it to the end, but we want to thank you very much for your dedicated effort. You've really steered us through. You've been the director for 6.5 years, and you were with us for 5 years before that.
Yeah, almost 13. It would have been 13 in July.
13 years. So we want to thank you very much, and we were very disappointed when you told us you weren't going to stay with us. But we certainly understand that you want to enjoy your two kids when they're young, and you have other ideas to go forward with other career options. And so we certainly will miss you. And I speak for the rest of the board, I'm sure. And I'm here. I want to give them a hand. There we go. We see some other hands. Hands in the thing. So we appreciate all you've done for us.
Thank
you.
you.
Led us through the technical difficulties, especially of this. I mean, even before all of the new technology, but especially here.
And as I said, if whoever the new director is needs to ask a question, my phone number is always available, and I'd be glad to help. And I'll find ways to be part of this community one way or the other in the future. That's kind of my hope. And yeah, it's tough decision to make, but it was the right one. It was a family decision. So, but yeah. Thank you.
Yes, well, good. We're glad you're going to be around to help us. He's not leaving until he has us all set with somebody else and somebody else trained, and we'll still be there. He says he's still going to be there to help us out if we need him. Any from the rest of you online here? Do you have any questions or comments after his director's report before we move on? No, I think I spoke for the whole board then.
Yeah.
All right. Then
yeah.
There's somebody. Who's that? Bob?
Thank you. And also just kind of, and I put this under director's report, and I'll jump to this part of it. As you know, Mark mentioned it in the financial that we are really seeking underwriting and looking to find, other revenue outlets, as we know, even before COVID, that the funding revenues are the funding outlets for SAPA, for public access, are going to change. And we as a board and as SAPA, we're planning on hiring a fundraising coordinator right as the pandemic hit, and so it kind of put a kink in things. But we did finally, in August, hire our fundraising coordinator, and we want to welcome Larry Kraft. He started right at the 1st of August. I think he's here with us, but he is our new fundraising coordinator. If you wanted to take a minute to introduce yourself and kind of just share anything you want, any message of goals, etc., you could do that. You're not obligated, though.
So Larry Kraft, are you still with us, I hope?
Oh, yeah, I can barely hear you. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. No, great. But we are glad to have you, and we look forward to what you bring. So, thank you, Larry.
Yes, we're glad you're joining the team, and you've been part of our SAPA team for years, ever since the beginning. You did programming for the hospital, and you have been the MC for the Apple Blossom forever. So you certainly know what SAPA TV is all about, and you're part of the SAPA TV family. So welcome. Okay, so we'll go on. The next item is awards and recognitions.
Awards and recognitions. Again, share the screen if you can, Asa, our wonderful...
Yes, Asa is here in the studio tonight. She's running all of these buttons.
Yeah, and the amazing part, though, is she could have probably actually stayed home and done this, too.
Yes.
So up on the board here, you'll see... each year, we usually hold a special event the last few years to really recognize volunteers and producers. And actually, the last 2 years, we haven't quite been able to do it the same. And then, of course, this year with COVID, it put a stop to everything. So I just wanted to take a minute just to recognize the volunteers who've created content this year. And so on the screen right now is our platinum producers. And these are people who've created 20 or more productions in the SAPA, in the 2019-2020 production year. A lot of these were studio shows, but they did come in, they created their own shows, and so a big thanks to them. Brenda Farkas, Matthew Farkas from Doing Life, Larry Shirk, his show's called Bound for the Promised Land, and then of course Puggy Lampier and Puggy's Corner. So we appreciate their hard work and dedication to SAPA TV. You can go to the next slide, Asa. Here are our goal producers. These are people who produced 10 to 19 productions in the 2019-2020 production year. Marita Johnson, Weston Marshall, Bryce Honeywell, Michael Jennison, Bruce Johnson, and Kevin Paquette. And you'll see the little asterisks or the star symbols by Kevin and Weston. That's showing that they are actually SAPA TV employees in a sense, but they also, outside of their employment, created and volunteered their time to create content. And so I just wanted to point that out, that they did volunteer to create their own content, and that's what is counted here. But if it's like a meeting and so forth, we usually don't count those because they're paid for that. But yeah, so those are our goal producers. Fantastic group of people creating lots of content for SAPA TV. Next slide. Oh, back. Our one silver producer was Zachary McNaughton. It was about 2 years ago he started making a fishing show, a regular fishing show, and some of those shows fell into this fiscal year, this production year. A fantastic little show, and hopefully we'll see some more from him. But yeah, so thank you, Zachary, for your show. And then I think this, and then lots of bronze producers. This is 1 to 4 Productions, Bob Topolsky, Margot Kuhn-Schmidt, Peter Mulhall, Chris Erickson, Elizabeth Kelly, Kelly Setner, June Sumner, Mark Ostrom, and Chuck Gregory. Yeah, and so a lot of these are 1 to 2, if not 3, about 3 productions. But we just appreciate the time they give to create these productions. So those are our bronze producers. And then this year we do want to recognize somebody as a producer, the producer of the year. And this year's producer is actually a new producer, and she came in and just jumped right in, and she had an idea for a documentary and went right to work, and she started shooting hours and hours and hours of content, and she had just started the editing process right as the pandemic hit. She literally just started editing probably 2 days before we had to shut our offices down, but we were able to provide her a computer with editing that software on it, and she was able to continue the process. Though the programming kind of fell into her final product, I think, fell into this fiscal year, the bulk of the work was done in this production year. So we felt that, can you put the slide up? I just wanted to call her Jamie, but it's not Jamie. Next slide, Lisa. Sorry. Oh, she can't hear. Oh, there we go. Jeannie Wade. I was going to call her Jenny. Jeannie Wade. She made a documentary called Heart Connection Matters. And she premiered it, I believe, just this about 2 months ago. She actually had a premiere. I don't know how she did it with social distancing, but she did have a premiere. So and it's playing on SAPA now regularly. So, but yeah. So she was going to try and make it. It doesn't look like she made it in tonight, from what I can see. So, but we do have like a bag and some SAPA swag that we'll get to her. And can you go to the next slide? Also, just so anybody knows out there, if they would like a printed certificate for the 2019-2020 SAPA year, please email info@sapatv.org with their address, and we'll mail those out. So yeah, if you would like a certificate, please do contact us, and we'll send one your way. So that's all I have on that this year. I would much rather have a nice dinner and a nice little ceremony, but this is where we're at. So.
Well, congratulations to all of the award winners, and we certainly do appreciate all of the effort that our volunteers put into the programming. I enjoyed hearing how many hours and how many programs that were produced.
Yeah.
I think SAPA does a phenomenal job of producing our own local content, and have a wonderful crew of volunteers that do this. And like you said, we would have had a banner year if the COVID-19 hadn't stopped everything, chopped everything off at the knees in mid-March. So thank you very much.
Yep. Big thanks to all the volunteers. They're the ones who make this happen. That's the only reason SAPA TV is what it is today, is because of the volunteers.
All right, so the next item on the agenda is the nomination of SAPA TV board members, and I'd like to call on Mark Richardson to present the report from the nomination committee. All right, thank you very much. So he said nominating for the board of directors a term for the next 3 years after this. It was Bryce Honeywell and Marita Johnson. And Jared has put announcements in the paper asking people from the community to step forward if they would like to be on the board. We still, you know, if people listening to this annual meeting, if you are interested in serving on the board and helping out with our great community access television here, you can email or call Jared at SAPA TV, and we can always appoint directors throughout the year. So we do have more space on the board if there is anybody out there that's interested. So at this point, we have those nominations. Can I have a motion from one of the board members to accept this slate of board members of 2 people to be voted on? Say that again, Bryce. Oh, Beck. It's for 3 years.
(2023), right?
2020 through 2023. So
That's Bob Topolsky.
okay, Bob motioned, and who was it that seconded it?
Mark Blanchard.
Mark Blanchard? Okay, thank you very much. All in favor of voting for those 2 board members for the board, say aye. Okay,
I think that was unanimous.
okay, so thank you very much. So those are the board members for a 3-year term. Now, before we adjourn the meeting, I want to encourage you to stay tuned.
Yeah.
Jared is going to play his own original music for you,
Yeah.
and so that'll be a real treat for us.
Yeah, and I would say actually the best way would probably be to watch it either on SAPATV.org or the YouTube link. We'll put a screen up in between while we're setting up, because Zoom is not great for audio. So if you guys want to watch the performance, no obligation. I would suggest go to SAPATV.org and watch there, or the YouTube link. Like I said, we'll put up a thing after the meeting adjourns while I'm setting up with the links.
So you mean on SAPA TV?
What's that? Yeah. Oh, it will be live on SAPA TV too, yeah, and SAPA TV. Or you can go watch it on SAPA TV, yes. We'll air it there also. It'll be on 1087. 1087. Yeah.
And we watch it, it'll be live, so if you just click on the watch the current programs.
Yeah.
So it'll take you about 5 minutes?
Yeah, 5, hopefully no more than that to set
Okay.
up. So we'll, after you guys adjourn, we'll just kind of mute things and put a screen up while we're getting set up.
Okay, so can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Mark Blanchard. Second? Okay, Bryce Honeywell seconded. All right, thank you very much for attending this meeting.
All those in favor?
Good night. Good night.
Thank you, guys. think I'm live. All right. You'll probably want to turn that talkback mic off. All right, I am Jared Gunnell. Thanks to all those who viewed our annual meeting either online, on TV, or through Zoom. So most of you know me as the executive director at SAPA TV in this area. What a lot of people may not know is I've been writing and playing music for the last 25 years. I haven't performed in a long time. The pandemic kind of opened up that door again. I started doing more kind of virtual and online open mics, and I forgot how much I enjoyed doing it. So most of the music you're going to hear tonight is my music, so you probably won't recognize it. But I hope you enjoy it, and I'll start off with this song.
This long highway across the world is traveling my way with no concerns, and in the distance, somber skies. I see the sunset with tired eyes, float away up to the moon. Time passes by way too soon. When the morning comes, everything will be alright. Yes, everything will be alright. I feel the tension in the air, my confusion's setting in. In the moonlight, shadows fall, constellations are on the walls. Float away up to the moon. Time passes by way too soon. When the morning comes, everything will be alright. Yes, everything will be alright. Everything will be alright. Yes, everything will be alright.
It's weird to be in an auditorium where it's just empty. And it's actually better for me, though, because I get really bad stage fright. So not seeing the people just kind of works out. Actually, the lyrics for that song were written by a good friend of mine, a great musician who lives in Texas. His name's Scott Vernon. We co-wrote that probably about 25 years ago. Called Everything Will Be Alright, and that's a mantra I try to use. It's getting harder to do after 7 months of all this craziness, but yeah. So this next song, put a pick here. Set it down here. This next song is one of my newer ones. Sorry, I gotta make an adjustment on my guitar. Going the wrong way. There we go. Yeah, sorry about that. This song, it's called Wait for the Sun. It's a newer one. Don't really have a story, but that's what it's called, Wait for the Sun. All right, I'm gonna start that over. I'm worrying about this dang technology on my back. I don't need to worry about that. Okay.
of mine. Secrets are told and lost in time. There's nothing left here for me to hide, so I'll fade away. Photographs don't tell the real story, they hide the past of all the hopes and worries that we did have and we locked away. I'll wait for the sun to melt all my fears away. These days might be the last, at least we're all in the right place, so they say. One more time is all it takes to lose the hope we had. There's nothing left here for you to say, so you'll fade away. All these lies have blurred reality and crossed the line. There's nothing here left, no turning back now. We can't deny this is the end. I'll wait for the sun to melt all my fears away. These days might be the last, at least we're all in the right place, so they say. Sorry about that. All right. Get back here. All right. So this next song is actually a song I wrote right after I moved to Vermont. Kind of was here on my own. Decided to go down to Northampton, Massachusetts, and see a Canadian band that I really love, a band by the name of Stars. Just by myself, went down there, and it was just a really crazy fun night, random night, and pretty much this song just tells the story of my night in Northampton, Mass, seeing the stars. Walking down this Northampton street tonight, might think I'm gonna be okay. There's a man on the corner playing his guitar, sings a song of how tomorrow will die. I think to myself, hey, he's crazy, but yeah, maybe he's right. Smell of weed in the air, people stop, they stare, thinking maybe it's me, wishing maybe it was there. Coffee shop windows, people I don't know, reflection of my face, yes, I'm all alone. Lonely, all alone, sometimes. Yeah, aren't we all alone? Down this Northampton street tonight with nothing on my mind. A speaker boxing girl on the courthouse steps, she says this war with ourselves will never end. I think to myself, hey, she's crazy, but yeah, maybe she's right. Music in the air, sweet melodies, angel soft voice, is she singing to She tells me her name as if I'm all alone. Well, are we all alone? Sometimes. Yeah, are we all alone tonight? Yeah, that was a fun night. I even remembered the young lady's name. Her name was Raffaella. It was just a cool name. Never spoke to her again, but I always remembered that name. Yeah. So I'm going to do a quick guitar change here real quick. It'll take me just a sec, and I'll talk about my next song. If you don't mind me asking, how's it sounding up there? Thumbs up, good. All right, this next song's called Mind Over Matter. It was kind of a song I wrote probably about 15 years ago, 20, somewhere between there. I think I stole it from a song I wrote back in high school, but I put it to a tuning of Dadgad, so I liked the way it sounded, and so I stole the words and made this song called Mind Over Matter. Mind over matter, I'm over you. My life's shallow with so much left to do. Erase this picture and color it blue. I love your portrait, such ugly hues. Simple days and simple minds seem like they disappear. So take me back, I wanna go back to the days I spent with you. And I can't help but think about how it all used to be. The simple days and simple minds, how did we let it all go? These times with you, they went by fast. I looked to the future but was living in the past. Erase these dreams I have of you. Finding our memories were never true. Simple days and simple nights seem like they disappeared. So take me back, I wanna go back to the days I spent with you. And I can't help but think about how it all used to be. Simple days and simple nights, how did we let it all go? Day by day, we slipped away. Simple days and simple nights seem like they disappear. So take me back, I wanna go back to the days I spent with you. And I can't help but think about how it all used to be. Simple days and simple nights, how did we let it all go? Let it all go. We'll let it all go. Let it all go. Thank you. All right, gotta do my guitar change again. Forgot my guitar stand, so I'm running back and forth. All right, this next song is another one I wrote with Scott Vernon. like a lot of our songs, it started off, I was playing a riff, sitting on the couch probably playing a riff, and he's like, that's cool, and 10 minutes later he has lyrics and we have a song. So this one's hard to do justice though, because this song originally had 3 if not 4 guitar parts, but I'll do my best. It's called Lost. Spinning round in my head, something's lost but can't be found. Shattered dreams inside of me, tearing away all of these tears. Can't you see it's not me? Let you down. There's nothing left to say. I tore away your smile. There's nothing left today. Can't you see it's not me? Inside you, and I am free, torn apart from this world. My soul's lost in the sea. That's a fun one. Okay, let's see what's up next. A little lighter note. This song I actually wrote when I was going back to. This is probably how long ago was that? 10 years ago, 15 years ago. I was down in school in Florida, and I had a classmate who didn't play a musical instrument, didn't sing, and turned to me one day. He's like, "I'm gonna make an album." And him and a bunch of us, they made just this weird, off-the-wall album, and it kind of got me thinking about weird things, and I started just writing some kind of kooky and fun songs, and this song here is a result, and it's called Prenup. They say we're crazy to fall in love so fast. They say more than a prenup, just in case it doesn't last. We said this love would last, that we never give up. But just in case we do, let's sign this little thing called a prenup. You can keep them curtains and the house and neighbor Chuck's. You can keep the money, but you can't have my dog and truck. We said this love would last, that we'd never give up. But just in case we do, let's sign this little thing called a prenup. Doesn't mean I don't love you. It doesn't mean I don't care. But just in case it don't work out, I'd like to keep my favorite chair. We said this love would last, that we never give up. But just in case we do, let's sign this little thing called a prenup. Let's sign this little thing called a prenup. Well, that was rough. But it's a fun song. All prenup. Alright, so those who know me somewhat probably know that I am one big Tom Petty fan. I had the opportunity of seeing him when I was about 16 or 17 years old, back in high school, and I think I've seen him 6 times since, and his music has just been an inspiration to me. So I thought I'd do a Tom Petty cover if I don't do a couple tonight. This is one of my favorite songs from him. This one comes on the radio. I can't not listen to it. This is my rendition of Learning to Fly. Well, I started out down a dirty road. Started out all alone, and the sun went down as I crossed the hill. The town lit up, the world grew still. I'm learning to fly, but I ain't got wings. Coming down is the hardest thing. Now the good old days may not return. The rocks might melt, the sea may burn. I'm learning to fly, but I ain't got wings. Coming down is the hardest thing. Well, some say life may beat you down, break your heart, music crowd. So I started out for God knows where. I guess I'll know when I get there. I'm learning to fly, but I ain't got wings. Coming down is the hardest thing. I'm learning to fly. Whoa, learn to fly around the clouds. There we are. What goes up must come down. We all must come down. We all must come down. We all must come down. Oh, all those words get jumbled up in my head. That was fun. While I'm here and singing and performing, I also want to do my duty as the director of SAPA TV at this time, as I'm still the director before I step down, to really say if there are musicians out there who are looking for an outlet to play music, looking for some place to socially distance play music, we have been so lucky to be able to have this space temporarily at the Black River Innovation Campus. So if you are looking to play, we can do it in a socially distancing way. Just contact us, and we would love to be able to share your music with the community. So that's my wearing my executive director of SAPA TV hat, and now back to playing music hat. I'm gonna do a couple setting changes here. Oh, as I drop my guitar pick. Getting too old for this stuff. Sorry about that. Technology, it never works the way you want it to. That's what I've learned a long time ago. Okay. All right. We're going this way. I have this little piece of equipment called the Tonewood amp that helps with reverb and so forth on the acoustic guitar. It's kind of a cool piece of equipment, actually. Can do different effects right out of an acoustic guitar. Who would have thought it? All right, this next song is one I wrote, good 20 years ago too, probably. I wrote this when I was playing with Scott Vernon at the time. We were in the band, but this was one I wrote, and it's called Blind. Through this window, the sun does shine, but it doesn't shine on your face. And down this hallway, I open doors, but I can't find the key to yours. Don't so depressing to see this way. The skies get darker every day. This wall around you is growing thick. I'm giving up, I must admit. Oh, I must be blind not to see die inside. Oh, you're falling down. I try to catch you, I don't know how. I must be blind not to see die inside. You're falling down. I try to catch you, but I don't know how. You packed your bags, left last night. I dreamt of you and I just might go blind.
And that one, I would say, kind of, you know, it is about mental illness and about depression. It's real. If you know somebody who suffers from depression, if you know somebody who doesn't have help, I would strongly suggest you seek it for them or for yourselves. And that's just, you know, just my 2 cents. All right. Let's go to a fun little jingle. On top of music I love, I grew up with 50s rock and roll. And I loved the artist Buddy Holly, so I figured I'd give this a try. I'm not sure how well it'll go, but we'll give it a try. This song's Every Day.
Every day it's getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, hey, hey. Every day seems a little faster. Everyone says go ahead and ask her. Love like yours should surely come my way. Hey, hey, hey. Every day seems a little longer. Every way love's a little stronger. Come what may, will you ever long for true love from me? Every day it's getting closer, going faster than a roller coaster. Love like yours will surely come my way. Hey, hey, hey. shouldn't come my way. Fun little ditty. I like that one. And that's the next song. I actually don't remember when I wrote it, but it was kind of inspired by 50s music. It's been a little while since I've played it, so we'll see how it goes. This one's deep from the archives. There you go, Gone Away. Gotta do one adjust here and all right. This next song is called Lie to Me. You would probably think that I wrote this song during this crazy pandemic, but no, I wrote this years before this happened. This is a newer song. It actually kind of came about after binge watching a season of The Walking Dead. But this song's called "Lie to Me." Dark nights, empty streets, walking dead among these thieves. Is this the end of our good days? Are we just wasting time and breath? Lie to me, tell me it's gonna be fine. I'll believe anything you have to say. This blind trust, it's the only thing we have left. So lie to me, tell me we'll be alright. Dark thoughts, empty dreams, answers are down on your knees. Is there anyone listening? Are we just screaming in the wind? Lie to me, tell me it's gonna be fine. I'll believe anything you have to say. This blind trust, it's the only thing we have left. my friends. Lie to me, tell me it's gonna be fine. I'll believe anything you have to say. That higher part was actually written for my wife to sing, so I forgot the words a little there. But yeah, that song's called Lie to Me. This is another kind of a slower one. This song's called Voyager. This is actually the very first song. I remember it vividly that I wrote with Scott Vernon. And again, it was kind of the same situation. I was playing a riff on the couch, and he liked it. 20 minutes later, we had a song, and he wrote the words to this. But it's called Voyager. Grab my guitar pick. Okay with me, okay with you. Blue is black, green is me, and red is you. You're too bold to be so true. Deep down inside of you, you say goodbye, and you cry. I did cry for you and I. Quiet dreams, asleep tonight. But wait to see the morning light. I love to love you more, and it shows. So break your body down, the night's so cold. The sky's gray and the sea is black. We'll drift away to take the pain right back. You say goodbye, and you cry. I did cry for you and I. Quiet dreams, asleep tonight. Wait to see the morning light. La-da-da. Hey, the day has gone away, my love. You want me to be the one for you. You say goodbye, and you cry. I did cry for you and I. Quiet dreams, asleep tonight. Wait to see the morning light. La-da-da. I have been playing that song for 25 years, and I still mess up the last riff. It's like part of the song now. Yeah. All right. So yeah, that one's called Voyager, written with Scott Vernon. And wow, so this one, going way back. This song I wrote when I was probably 17 years old. I was in a band. We called ourselves Loose Ground. I was playing with a very talented musician by the name of Greg Page. He's one of those guys who can pick up an instrument and play it. Scott was the same way, those type of people. But this was a song, definitely kind of teenage angst, trying to figure out girls type of a song. But this song's called Mystery.
Just a little boy standing in the streets. You are just a little girl I would like to meet. Somewhere off in the distance I hear you calling my name. But when I find you, you're not there. You're just a mystery. I don't know why I feel this way. There's something in your eyes. You're just another mystery to me. I see you on the street corner. You're standing all alone. The rain is starting to fall down. You have nowhere to go. Take my hand, I'll take you there. I'll take you where you wanna be. But if I do, will you help me solve your mystery? I don't know why I feel this way. There's something in your eyes. You're just another mystery to me. And it would be alright if we were together tonight. Still I cannot lie. You're just another mystery to me.
Oh, teenage angst. Can you tell I was listening to like Goo Goo Dolls and Tom Petty on that one? Lots of Tom Petty for sure. Speaking of Tom Petty, I think I'm gonna do another Tom Petty cover. Before his death, he was actually working on a project. They had written a whole bunch of music on their Wildflowers album. And he was planning on doing a whole project and touring on a bunch of the songs that he hadn't released. And they, after his death, they're going to be releasing it here in about 10 days. So I thought it'd be suiting to play the song Wildflowers. This is my first attempt on this. Hopefully it goes well. Nope. If I can see. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong in a boat out at sea. Sail away, kill off the hours. You belong somewhere you feel free. Run away, go find a lover. belong in a boat out at sea. You belong with your love on your arm. You belong somewhere you feel free. Go away, find you a lover, run away, be a guy. You deserve the deepest cover. You belong in that home by and by. You belong among the wildflowers. You belong somewhere close to me. With your love, you belong somewhere you feel free. You belong somewhere you feel free. We're gonna end that one there, and with the power of editing, that one will disappear. All right, I've got two more songs for you. These are both originals. See if this works. Oh, looks like I lost my guitar pick. You always carry a spare guitar pick. All right, this is a newer song. This song I wrote probably a good 5 years ago, but this song's called Tragic. It's a fun one for me to play. Thinking about the ways you changed me, you erased me. Everyone's going to lie. It's tragic, but the truth. We'll watch this world crash down with not a lot to say. These tragic memories slowly slip away. Thinking about the ways you hate me and you saved me. Everyone's going to die. It's tragic, you're beautiful. We'll watch this world crash down with nothing else to say. These tragic memories slowly slip away. Let's take this house and tear it down. We'll build it back just to burn it to the ground. Thinking about the ways you changed me, you erased me. We'll watch this world crash down with nothing on our minds. these tragic stories we tell, most of them are lies. All right, I'm gonna do a quick guitar switch for this last song, and I'll be right back to the microphone. I always end up twisting my strap. All right, there we go. All right, this is my newest song. Make sure I'm in tune there. And I actually don't have a name for it, but this song kind of came about after, it's been a crazy political season, that's for sure. And I saw a video of a peaceful protester being shouted at. She was a young lady, and this big, tall, white guy was just screaming in her face, just screaming hate, and it just got me thinking about, whoa, what can I do? How can I change this? And this is kind of the result of the song. Some might be thinking it's political, but it's just kind of how I feel.
How did we get here? Why you screaming in her face? No, it's not crystal clear. Why you full of all this hate? Tears run down the cheeks, they can't breathe in the streets. Still locked arm in arm, they stand their ground well. I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do. To change this world. Another sad headline. More casualties to your wars. Refugees left behind. So you can line your pockets more. You sit on your thrones while they all lose their homes. Still hand in hand, they hold on for hope. Well, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do. To change this world. I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say, I don't know what to do. To change this world.
My fingers got tangled up there. That's the show. I do know one thing we all can do. We all can get out and vote, and I encourage you strongly to do that. Your voice does matter. Don't forget to vote, make a plan. Thank you so much for joining me. This is kind of my farewell to SAPA as executive director. I'm not leaving just yet. They are searching for a new executive director, but it's been a fun trip with SAPA TV, and hopefully I'll find ways to give back and be part of community television in the future. Thank you for watching. Everybody, have a great night. Thank you.